Hey, what's up guys? My name is Jonathan Yench and thank you for tuning in to today's video. Now, if you're new here, I make videos on minimalism and camping, hiking, etc., etc. So if you're interested in those kinds of things, you might want to consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my latest videos. Now, today we're going to be talking about veganism. Specifically, why I've chosen to switch to a plant-based diet. I want to quickly preface this video by saying that I am not going to be trying to persuade you or convince you to change your own diet. Do it. Or bombard you with any facts or statistics, because there are already plenty of other resources out there if you want to look further into the subject. In fact, I'll go ahead and link some articles down below if you're interested in reading further into it. Rather, my intention for this video is to basically share with you guys my journey and my experiences that have led me to become vegan. So whether you're somebody who's considering going vegan or a vegetarian themselves, or maybe you're just somebody who has an interest in plant-based diets and are kind of curious to why people consider going plant-based, I think that no matter who you are, you can find this video to be somewhat educational and beneficial in some way. Now, before we get into the reasons why I've decided to become vegan, let's first talk about my slow, kind of interesting and very bumpy ride to getting to the point of where I am now. I want to share this with you guys so you can see that you don't have to be perfect with your approach to changing your diet, and you shouldn't really expect to change overnight. You see, there's a lot of YouTubers and Instagrammers who make vegan related content who make it seem like they had some marvelous revelation and they changed 100% overnight, never to look back on their old ways. I'm here to tell you that that's simply not the case. It is a long, bumpy, windy road. A lot of the times it's easier to turn back simply because you miss the convenience, or it's easier, or maybe you just miss the way certain things taste. That's totally okay when this happens. In fact, it's even to be expected, at least to some degree. You see, it's hard to transition into a new diet and a new way of life, so nobody's expecting you to be perfect. So let's just get into the actual timeline of my road to veganism, so we'll call it. And then we'll get into my reasons a little bit later in the video, so make sure to stick around. It all started around the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, roughly. I'm going just by memory here, so the exact dates might be a little bit off, but you'll get the point. So it was around this time that I first tried vegetarianism. I cut meat on my diet, and this lasted for all of about a month or so before I started to go back to my old ways and start to eat meat again. This continued for about half a year or so, maybe a little less. I think it was in April of that same year that I decided to try out the whole vegan thing. Again, I went strong for about a month or so, and after that I caved in and went back to my old diet. Although for the remainder of this year, I definitely cut back on my meat consumption and was definitely more conscious of the fact that I felt guilty while doing so. It was towards the end of 2018 when I decided that I would go fully vegan again. I watched an extremely compelling documentary. We'll talk about that more later. That was enough to convince me to go 100% cold turkey, and I got rid of everything in my fridge that was made out of animal products. This lasted for about 6 months, which is pretty impressive for going cold turkey. About 6 months in, I was really stoned and kind of drunk at a friend's birthday, and the only thing to eat was hamburgers, so I indulged. And it's kind of a slippery slope, because from there I didn't get fully back into the swing of my vegan diet. But for the majority of the rest of the year, I ate primarily vegan with some vegetarian meals here and there, and even some meat on rare occasions. Finally, at the beginning of April of this year, 2020, I decided that I was going to fully commit 100% to a plant-based diet. Yet again, whether or not it's gonna stick, I guess that's to be determined, but I think that I feel a lot more confident and ready to take on this diet 100%. As you can see, I've been extremely back and forth with this whole thing for quite some time now. I blame my Gemini side and the fact that I'm able to see everything through two perspectives, both as logical and clear as the other. With that being said, I am absolutely certain that you guys can do a lot better than me if you're choosing to pursue a vegan diet. In fact, you could even use me as an example to compare yourself to if you're feeling guilty about slipping up or eating something that you weren't supposed to. Shouldn't have eaten those deviled eggs. Well, at least I'm doing better than that one guy on YouTube. Let us now talk about the reasons why I've decided to go vegan. There are three main reasons that most vegans attribute to their change of diet. Usually it's a combination of all three. Those three, in no particular order, are: plant-based diets have been proven to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, certain cancers, reduce inflammation, and promote overall healthy weight control, along with many other benefits. Animal agriculture is by far the #1 cause of climate change, deforestation, and loss of biological diversity. Switching to a plant-based diet is the single most effective way you can start to have a positive impact on our environment. Studies show that animals, specifically those we farm in Western cultures like cows, pigs, chickens, etc., are intelligent beings with emotional capacities, memories, and ways of communicating with one another. Now, I know that I said in no particular order, but that was actually the order of importance for the reasons that I first decided to become vegan. I watched a documentary called Forks Over Knives on Netflix, which highlighted a lot of the amazing health benefits of a plant-based diet, as well as some of the alarming statistics about traditional non-vegan diets. I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in checking that documentary out, and I'll leave a couple other vegan documentaries if you guys want to go ahead and watch those. So this documentary, like I was saying earlier, was enough to make me go 100% cold turkey overnight vegan. So it's safe to say that when I did start my vegan journey, it was pretty much mainly for the health benefits. Somewhere along the lines, however, this pretty much completely flipped upside down for me. Lately, I have realized that the main reason behind my decision to remain plant-based is the fact that I no longer wish to cause unnecessary harm or suffering to innocent animals, or the planet for that matter. Really, at this point, the health benefits are pretty much just more of like an added bonus, which is funny because I started this whole journey because of the health benefits primarily, and now that has taken sort of a backseat towards animal rights issues and environmental activism. To be honest, I think this is probably quite common with people and their reasons of becoming vegan. You know, it's easy to start off kind of from a selfish standpoint and realize like, hey, this is gonna be something that greatly benefits me. And the more you stick to it, the more you do research, the more you get into it, you start to uncover things both alarming and also inspiring that you didn't necessarily know about when you first got into it. And so slowly over time, your whole perspective kind of shifts from you wanting to try this new diet to be healthier to you deciding to be part of a bigger issue and deciding that you want to contribute to a greater cause in the world. Overall, I just feel a lot more spiritually connected to the earth, fellow animals, and to myself, knowing that I'm not causing unnecessary harm in exchange for a few minutes of satisfaction or convenience. Some people may not really care about these things. A lot of the non-vegans that I know adopt the mentality of, we're all gonna die one day, so what does it really matter? And so choosing the satisfaction and the convenience of a traditional non-vegan diet just makes more sense to them, and that's totally fine. to each their own. Whether or not the things that I've mentioned are benefits to you really depends on your own morality, the way you view life, and the things that you value. So I was going to talk about some of the ways that veganism has impacted my life so far, both negative and positive. But seeing as this video is already getting a little bit long, I figured that we might as well just save that for another time. That being said, I hope that you guys were able to gain a little bit more insight and maybe see things from a new perspective of why somebody might consider to go plant-based. And I don't know, maybe you might just even consider looking into plant-based diets yourself. Maybe not, you know, it's up to you. It's your life. I don't care, whatever. If you guys would like to continue to see more videos like this about veganism and plant-based diets, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. If you also have any other video ideas for things you want to see, make sure to comment them down below, you know. This is a very strange, weird time for all of us, and I'm finding that it's a little bit difficult to find the motivation and inspiration to film videos somewhere safe while practicing social distancing. So that being said, if you do have anything you would like to see from me, don't be shy. Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next video.